Hi everyone, it's me, Flavio Miguel, and welcome back to my channel. But maybe that's your first time on my channel, no problem. Thank you so much for being here and for watching this video. In this video, I'll be reviewing and demonstrating yet another eyeshadow palette. It's actually 3 eyeshadow palettes. It's from MAC Cosmetics, it is the Art Library collection. Oh, you might be wondering, why would I do a review after 3 years that they've been in the market? It's actually because I still considering them very relevant up to this day. And what I want to do is just share my opinion about those eyeshadow palettes, alright? So if you want to know more, you should watch this video until the end. But what is exactly that I'm gonna do? I'll be talking about the eyeshadow palettes, I'm gonna be talking about how does it feel in your hand, the quality of the packaging. I will also be doing some swatches to see exactly what is the payoff of each eyeshadows. I also know that some of the colors that we will find in the Art Library palettes, they have been already released or have been already be featured in other eyeshadow palettes. I want to compare them and see if the payoff is still the same, or either if the payoff have been improved or if the quality has been decreased, which I don't think it's the case. And in the end of this video, you will also have the opportunity to see 3 makeup demos that I did using each one of the eyeshadow palettes. This time I didn't do the demo on myself, but I have the amazing opportunity to have a model to elevate this video even more. So if you're curious to see the end result, you should watch this video until the end. Alright, so what are those eyeshadow palettes? Now, they are here. It's actually a trio, and they were all released all together 3 years ago. We have over here the Nude Model, which come with very nude shades, all skin tones, earth tones, very beautiful. The finishings, they vary from matte to metallics. I also have the Flamboyant, which have beautiful warm shades of eyeshadows, also with the same kind of finishings, from matte up to metallics. And also we have the It's Design palette, which contains beautiful bright colors, okay? I cannot wait to do the swatches so that you can see what I'm talking about. First of all, let me just talk to you about how they feel on your hand and how big they are. So it's a regular size of eyeshadow palette from MAC Cosmetics. Regular, when I say regular, I mean the size of the pans of the eyeshadow palettes. The eyeshadow palette is made by plastic, which is quite sturdy and feels quite firm on your hand. It doesn't feel like a cardboard eyeshadow palette. It comes with a mirror, and if you know me, you know that I love eyeshadow palettes that comes with a mirror because I can do my makeup straight looking into the mirror. On your hands, although it's made by plastic, this still feels quite lightweight and it's not really clumsy to hold, as you can see. I cannot flip over the lid how I would probably do with a cardboard eyeshadow palette, but that's not the problem. Another thing that I also like is that the mirror stands quite nicely. So if I wanted to lay this on a table or on a countertop, I think the mirror would stand in the right angle, ready for me to do my own makeup. Here in my hand I have the Nude Model. As you can see, they're all very beautiful flesh tones or earthy tones, if you will, and you can also see the difference of the finishings. On the back of the eyeshadow palette, you can see all the names of the eyeshadows, very easy to find. When you buy the eyeshadow palette and you first open for the first time, you will also find a transparent lid over here, and the transparent lid also has all the names on it. In my case, I don't use them because I'd rather just look on the back of the eyeshadow palette. It's just as easy. And now it's time for some swatches. I will be doing the swatches by each eyeshadow palette, and I'm gonna be doing from upper row down to the lowest row. Let's do it! Alright, so these are the eyeshadow palettes from the first row, or the upper row if you will. As you can see, it's really nice. I really love them. The first 2 eyeshadows, they have this metallic finish. Notice that the first eyeshadow, it's called Shroom. Shroom, it's a classic eyeshadow among all the eyeshadows from MAC Cosmetics. It's been featuring many different eyeshadow palettes before, but it's also available in single pans, alright? So let's go to the next row. These are the eyeshadows from the second row, or the middle row, if you will. Also really quite nice. Notice that the third eyeshadow, this one, it's called Tete Tint, and it's also an eyeshadow that has been for quite long in the whole collection of MAC Cosmetics and has landed into the Art Library Nude Model. Let's go to the next row. These are the eyeshadows from the lowest row, alright, or the third row, if you will. The first color is quite very soft. I think it's because it's a very flashy skin tone. I think it would look amazing in someone with a very fair skin tone, just to create some definition on the eyelid. The fourth eyeshadow, this one, it's called Dance in the Dark, and it's also an eyeshadow that's being featured before in another eyeshadow palette from MAC Cosmetics. If I'm not wrong, it was from In the Flash 15 eyeshadow palette. Let's go to the next eyeshadow palette, and this time it's going to be Flamboyant. Alright, so these are the eyeshadows from the first row or the upper row from the Flamboyant eyeshadow palette. So the second and the third eyeshadow that you can see here, they have both been featured in different other eyeshadow palettes from MAC Cosmetics in the past, and also available in single pens. This one is called Samoa Silk, which I know it's one of the most favorite eyeshadow palettes from MAC Cosmetics history, and this is Umber Light, also a classical eyeshadow. If you know MAC Cosmetics, you will know Umber Light for many years already. So these are the eyeshadows from the second row, or the middle row, if you will. As you can see, they are all matte. And here we can also see two other eyeshadows that's been featured before in other eyeshadow palettes, and or either available as single pen by MAC Cosmetics. Should be this one, which is called Rule, which is a beautiful eyeshadow palette to use any kind of skin tones, but I do love to use with darker skin tones, especially to create dimension and to add some warmth into the eye makeup. And another eyeshadow that's been also featured in other eyeshadow palettes and also available as single pen is this one, which is called Embark. And Embark is a beautiful matte, dark, warm, reddish brown color, which is beautiful to use with any kind of skin tones. It doesn't surprise me that it's been featured also in the Flamboyant eyeshadow palette. Let's go to the last row. And these are the eyeshadows from the third row, or the lowest row, if you will. The payoff is still quite nice. I have no complaints whatsoever. Let's see how they are gonna react during the makeup demo. But before this, we still have another eyeshadow palette to go, and that is the It's Design, alright? Hold on. Alright, so these are the eyeshadows from the first row of the It's Design. As you can see, really nice. What is nice to know about these eyeshadows is that this one and this one, they are officially blushers. What that means, actually the amount of pigmentation is slightly higher, and it has also to do with the pigments that they've chosen to add into this eyeshadow, which means that they can be, in some cases, kind of harmful. Well, harmful is not the right word to use, but the pigmentation could be quite high, and some people would not be able to wear them on their eyes. So that's why I think MAC has decided to name them as blushers. But as you know, as every makeup artist, we will use anything that we want to, anywhere that we want to. And as a makeup artist, we will always think like, it's just makeup, how harmful this can be. Okay, so just for you to know, I don't know if you can see it, but over here, there, I'll try to zoom this when I'm editing. You can see that the blusher from that pink blusher that I use has already stained on my skin. That's what I meant about high pigmentation. Alright, so these are the eyeshadows from the middle row. Look at this golden. Can you see the golden eyeshadow? It's really beautiful. They feel quite soaky, to be honest, when you touch with your fingers, especially the metallic ones. Let's go to the last eyeshadow row. So let's go to the last eyeshadow row. Alright, so these are the eyeshadows from the lowest row from this design, or the last row if you prefer. What is interesting to show here is that this one is Carbon, which is the black eyeshadow from MAC Cosmetics. I think having a black eyeshadow and having a skin tone eyeshadow in a palette, it's a must, because you can use them as toners. What do I mean by this? If you add black into any eyeshadow color, you're gonna turn them into a darker tone. And if you add a light skin tone in the eyeshadow, you will light it up this eyeshadow somehow, or maybe even be able to create a more pastel shade, if you will. Alright, so what I'm gonna do right now is I will be comparing some of of the eyeshadows that are featured at the Art Library collection and that have been featured in other eyeshadow palettes before. I will start with Carbon. Carbon, it's a quite peculiar eyeshadow. When I started working for MAC Cosmetics, like, I don't know, 15 years ago, I did work for MAC for 12 years. Carbon wasn't a really nice eyeshadow, I must confess. Carbon was before a very nice black eyeshadow with very high pigmentation, but when I started working for MAC, this was in 2008, Carbon wasn't the same anymore. They did improve Carbon in a way that it's much better right now. The pigmentation is quite high, but let me show you the differences from all different swatches. These are all those three, there are Carbon. You can see differences. That one, the first one, is the Carbon feature at the Art Library, its design palette. The second, it was featured at the Semi-Sweet Time 9's eyeshadow palette, this one. You can see that it's really black. And the last row comes from the In the Flash Carbon eyeshadow palette. You can see that in the Flash, which is the oldest from all the eyeshadows that I have over here, it's not the same. But I must confess that if I would have to say in which eyeshadow Carbon is better featured, that would be in this one, which is in the middle one. You can actually see the difference. Let's go to the next one. All right, the next eyeshadow that I'm going to be comparing in this one, which is Dance in the Dark. I know, they are all dancing in the dark. Do you want to know which one is featured at the Art Library? It's actually the first one, is this one. Unfortunately. As you can see, it's quite transparent compared with the other two swatches. And the other two swatches, they are coming from the Semi-Sweet Time 9's palette and from the Neutral Warm 15 times eyeshadow palette. MAC, what happened? What happened? Why is it so transparent? Alright, without any further ado, let's stop this conversation, let's dive into this makeup demo. I will be doing 3 makeup demos. First, I will start using the Nude Model. I will do a very beautiful daily look on my beautiful model, Carol. And after that, I will be also doing another makeup demo, this time using the It's Design eyeshadow palette. For this, I will do an Euphoria inspired look. I hope you guys are gonna enjoy it. It's really beautiful and colorful. And the last makeup demo that we're gonna do is going to be featuring the Flamboyant eyeshadow palette. And I will be doing a classical smoky eye. Alright, I hope you guys enjoy. Keep it up and follow to the end. right here we are almost done. What I'm gonna do right now is I'm gonna go with the skin tone eye pencil in the waterline, just to create a more open eyes. Then I'm gonna add some mascara. I will also add some skin tone highlighter right below the eyebrow, just to create a little bit more definition, and I will clean up over here and we're almost done. So guys, as you can see, I finished up both eyes. I also add some highlighter, mascara, and now what I'm gonna do, I'm gonna add some crystals just to elevate this look even more. Alright, so what is my conclusion here? As I said in the beginning of this video, I still think the Art Library collection is quite relevant up to this day. They are quite affordable, they come in the price in euros of 41 euros, if I'm not wrong. I think consider the amount of eyeshadow that you have inside and the size of the pens, it's still quite approachable price. Would I invest in those eyeshadow palettes? Yes, definitely I would. I think for a beginner makeup artist or someone that's been in the business already for quite a while, it's a essential eyeshadow palette to have. You can do numerous different kinds of looks. What I like it a lot is that you have different finishings, which creates very nice dimension in your makeup look. The payoff is great, but as you could see, some of the eyeshadows, the quality decreased somehow throughout the years. And some of the eyeshadows, the quality improved also somehow throughout the years. Like for example, Carbon, the payoff is quite high, but Dance in the Dark, I don't know, it just isn't the same Dance in the Dark that I found in the other eyeshadow palettes that I also have, that I also had featured Dance in the Dark in the past. Guys, I really hope you guys are enjoying watching this video as much as I enjoy making it. And if you think that you could use more of this kind of knowledge, remember to subscribe to my channel by the end of this video, alright? I wish you all an amazing time. Thank you so much for all the time, love and support, and I see you all next time. Bye bye!